Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. Are you a goofball that loves Giants football? If so, sit back and relax as we talk about the team that both excites and frustrates us so much. And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by...
Me, I'm Rob. Let's get this show on the road.
I am on the road, as people are watching this. Because we're recording this one here for you guys yesterday. So this is actually being recorded.
But it's today.
I know. It's so weird. It's like
time travel.
The 10,000 gigawatts in the flux capacitor. So
do we go by MCU time or do we go by Back to the Future time?
Or do we go by Flash and the Paradox time? I don't know which one is a Flashpoint. I don't even know what's going on here.
Just don't kill your grandfather.
Will he save his mother?
Yeah. Oh God, I cried so much.
Will Fry sleep with his own grandmother and become his own grandpa for the Futurama fans out there?
This way he's his own grandson.
But yeah, so we're shooting this on a Wednesday night. It'll be Thursday night when this goes here because I'll be on the road to Georgia. We figure why not record a little early? We may add some things at the end if anything big happens yesterday, but most of the news that came out here today is still going to be relevant for tomorrow because we got to talk about the practice squad. We're talking practice squad. Plus, there's some other Giant news we're going to go over as well for you guys that went down today. So let's break right down to the practice squad, and then we'll go over to the rest of the news here. So keep in mind the Giants can have up to 16 players on the practice squad. So far as we're recording this, we got 13 of those players. So you may see us add in a little bit towards the end here and anybody we pick up tomorrow. But let's go over who we did keep. And a lot of these are familiar names here. So a lot of these we're going to be rolling right on through here. Quarterback Tommy DeVito. Obviously,
no shocker there.
A lot of you guys wanted to keep him. Well, we got him on the practice squad at the very least. Perfect place for him.
If you guys listened last night, you would have known. We already talked about that.
Well, last night they were shooting this night or last night, which is actually 2 nights ago.
MCU, if we go into the future, it creates our own past. It doesn't create a new future. So.
Oh, my God. I have a headache. So, but yeah, it's a perfect place for him. I think that's where he needs to be this year. Let him learn for a year. Let him hopefully take over the job from Tyrod Taylor and be a very nice, cheap backup going forward.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I mean,
right.
Taylor's got an expensive, I should say expensive, but
he's a higher priced backup.
Yes. Compared to
which is fine.
Well,
he's got a lot of experience. He's a good guy to have in the room overall. So I'm cool with paying him. I just don't want to do long term.
No, I mean, like you said, he's a veteran. Well, we said he's a veteran. He's also a cool guy in the locker room, and he's a teacher, even though he wasn't the best out there as a starter, which is good for young guys. DeVito coming up.
Exactly. I hope DeVito and him are just basically attached at the hip, and Daniel Jones, all of them. Let them all learn from each other. Yeah. Next up, another guy we knew would probably be here. We talked about this on the last episode. I'll say it that way instead of giving the day. Cole Beasley got added to the practice squad. Again, we said he's a vested veteran. Once he's cut. Can go anywhere he wants. This was the plan all along. He's still got an injury. So instead of putting him on an injury list or like that, let him sit in the practice squad for a couple weeks, let him get fully healthy, and then pop him on the active roster going forward from there. So that's fully what I expect to see happen there. So next up after that, Ryan Jones. Ryan Jones, pretty much the forgotten tight end. We talked about how, Tommy Sweeney had his medical issue. Chris Myrick had his broken hand. So Lawrence Cager kind of won that third tight end spot by default. But wasn't 100%.
He also kind of won it when he got that deal in the offseason.
He didn't get that much money. You love this deal. This is nothing. This is a nothing deal. We could have got rid of him very easily. But he did beat out one guy who still was on the active roster at the time, and that's Ryan Jones, the rookie out of East Carolina. The Giants have brought in for a visit, pre the draft, got a chance to look at him, had him on the squad, didn't think he beat out Cager or probably anybody else, to be very frank. But we're going to pop him on the practice squad, give him a year with the team or so, and see what happens, see if he grows. So,
yeah. I mean, do you think that out of his, not to put him down, but do you think it's because of his play or because of necessity with Myrick being out for the year? We don't know what's going on with Sweeney.
I just think it's that if you're going to keep somebody, you're going to keep someone who's young. You're going to keep somebody who has a chance to grow. And that's exactly what he is. I mean, he's, literally just turned 24 years old. Happy birthday. His birthday was 10 days ago. He hasn't
be young again.
Time with around him, hasn't had time with NFL coaches around him. And no disrespect to East Carolina, but I wouldn't exactly think they have the best coaches in college football at East Carolina. So he's the perfect guy to give some time with, give him better coaching, see if he gets better. And if he doesn't develop, then no harm, no foul. He took a spot in your practice squad for a year.
And say
not a big deal.
Bye.
So another move that I'm perfectly good with. In fact, spoiler alert, there's not a single move in this practice squad here that I'm upset with. Which is very rare for me not to have a complaint. I mean,
yeah,
I still want more players, don't get me wrong. But I'm not upset that we kept any of the guys that we kept. Next up, the only newcomer in this group. The only one. Tyree Jackson, we took from the Eagles. They waived him and we're hoping to put him on their practice squad. He's a former quarterback at the University of Buffalo. Those of you that were part of our show that we had on, we just shot a couple minutes ago, was on last night at the membership group there. For those who have signed up at the buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs, we talked about him on that show briefly because one of the questions that was asked. But again, he's a former quarterback at the University of Buffalo. He was originally signed on as an undrafted free agent in Buffalo. So obviously Joe Shane, Brian Dable, they have some history here. They were the ones, who looked at him coming out of college. They were the ones who looked at him, bringing him back into New York. So obviously they like something about him. They see something there. And, nothing wrong with bringing somebody in who's still learning a position because, again, he's a tight end now. He didn't play tight end until recently. He was a quarterback even when he played a little of the XFL. He was a backup quarterback and not a very good one at that, but he was a backup quarterback in the XFL.
Yeah, I mean, it's call of the coaches, if you will. He is a big, statuous, athletic individual that can make a difference if taught right. Statuous. So he's like a giant.
You made him sound like a delicious sandwich. Statuous. It sounds like a delicious sandwich. Statuous.
Statuous. No, here's the statch.
In the you-ish. You have a sandwich with you as well?
Just saying, if he's a smart individual, it's my back pocket.
What about your back pocket?
Look at what our coaching staff has brought in. There's a ham sandwich.
Oh, there's a ham sandwich in your back pocket. Hey, were you sitting on a ham sandwich? Because that's not cool.
It's statuish.
Oh, Mike.
No, it's kind of leaning off the seat.
Oh, okay.
But I'm just saying, look at what our coaching staff has done. Like, they brought in a lot of highly athletic people that they've seen around the league that have a good football IQ that's willing to learn systems and how to play as a unit. And it's made the team a lot better. So this guy, Tyree, coming off being a QB, super athletic, super tall.
Yeah, 6'7", guys. 6'7", 249 pounds. He's a big guy.
Yeah, that's a tight end size guy.
He's tight end size with a couple extra inches in height compared to most.
Yeah. So
most of them are like 6'3", 245. He's 6'7", 249. That's the big guy.
good
It's a
luck
big
to
target.
that 5'10" corner trying to cover him.
Yeah, or that 6-foot tall safety.
Yeah.
6'2" linebacker. I mean, no matter what, they're undersized.
Just see him like this. Just hold on the helmet. Hey, I got this.
Yeah. And this is the kind of guy you want to bring in, though. And this is exactly the same way we mentioned Ryan Jones a minute ago, a guy coming from a small school. Here's another guy coming from a small school, University of Buffalo, not exactly an SEC title, kind of team here. And comes from a small school. He's learning a new position. And it's another no harm, no foul if he doesn't make it. But you take the risk on a guy that you think has the potential to do something once he learns the position. It's a good move, I think, overall. I really do. I think it can't hurt whatsoever. Plus, we get to take him the Eagles. Or screw you, Eagles.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll find out tomorrow when this airs if Dakota's
Fly,
watching.
bird, fly.
But yeah, I mean, I like I said, good move overall. It's the only guy we got from the team, and I'm perfectly fine with it. I think it was a solid move. All right. And next up, a guy that I wanted to keep on the regular roster, and I'm kind of shocked that nobody picked him up. Tyree Phillips, a guy who started a couple of games for us last year, a guy who's got some experience in the league overall, plays tackle, plays guard. And I think the first injury that happens on the offensive line, because let's be honest, over the 17 games, one of them's going to happen. He's the guy who's going to come up. So, provides good depth coming off the practice squad. A lot of guys don't. Don't get me wrong. Tyree Phillips is not a great player. I'm not trying to say that, but he's a great guy to have on your practice squad. If you can have a guy of his level of play sitting there ready to go on the roster if need be, that's a good player to have.
Yeah.
So next up was another surprise cut, at least for me. Defensive lineman Ryder Anderson, obviously on the team again last year. So same as Tyree Phillips, it's kind of like copy and paste and change the name from Tyree to Ryder. I mean, I really thought he'd make the roster. He's a good piece to have on the practice squad. I'm glad we were able to keep him, and hopefully we don't need him during the season. But if we do, he's there. Can't complain. So continuing our trend of people that I thought would not get cut.
Me.
People I thought would not get cut. Darian Beavers ends up on our practice squad. You know what though? This is an all's well that ends well scenario for me, to a certain degree, because we didn't think that that Darian Beavers would get cut. I was questioning whether or not he'd be even available to us to put on the practice squad. I thought somebody might take a flyer on a guy coming off an injury that was just drafted that looked good last year in the preseason. But no one took that flyer. So we get to keep him. We get to let him get healthier and healthier and hopefully gain some of this little bit of speed he had back. Because, again, he ran like a 4.6, 4.7 in the combine last year. He was never a fast linebacker to begin with. But, see if he can get a little more healthy, see what he gets back to what he was. And you can always pop him on the roster later on if you need to. So, glad to see Beavers back. Hashtag we saved Beavers for the practice squad.
Yeah. Hashtag, yeah, I was about to say, saved Beavers.
Saved Beavers. Now, we got a couple other guys at the linebacker position as well that got saved as well for the practice squad. Deontay Johnson got saved for that roster again. Now, he also falls into that same category as Ryan Jones did. You get a really young player that came from a small school. Keep in mind, as a linebacker rookie out of Toledo. Again, Toledo's not the SEC powerhouse school, so you get a guy that you have low risk on. See if he does start playing better by having a year of NFL coaching. And if he doesn't, you cut bait and it's no loss. This is the perfect guy. We talked about even the roster prediction show. I said, this is where he should be. This is a guy I want to see on our practice squad. Guess what?
Yeah.
For once, I got what I wanted. The practice squad gods have rained upon us good tidings.
Catch the ball. Stop the ball. Be good.
Now, we did get a couple edge rushers. We did get a couple edge rushers, too, onto the practice squad. The first one, I'm not going to say I'm upset about, but I'm not excited about. I think that's probably the better way to put it. O'Shane Ximines. I've already seen enough O'Shane Ximines in my life. I know what he is. He can't run. He can't stop the run or anything. He can't set the edge. He provides a little bit for pass rush. But if he's on the practice squad, he can't hurt us. So
you're saying
okay
that X gave you, and you're okay with that?
I'm just saying, like, we don't need him. If they wanted to keep him because they had the spot in the practice squad and he was willing to take it, then that's fine. There's no harm, no foul. But I don't have any expectations of him doing a damn thing.
So
in fact,
didn't give it to you.
In fact, I think he's second on the depth chart on the practice squad even. Because I think the next guy, Timon Fox, is higher on that list. I think if there's an injury at the edge position, we pull Fox up before you pull up Ximines. Fox is one of those guys that came up big in weird spots last year, did it again the preseason this year, just didn't quite show enough, especially with the addition of Basham. I think if
I was about to say, I think if he didn't show up, I think Fox would have made the.
Yeah, I do. I agree with you 100%. I think if Boogie didn't get that, we didn't trade for Boogie, then we wouldn't have made Timon Fox Boogie.
That X actually gave it to you, not Ximines.
Yeah. So, glad we're able to hold on to him. So I thought somebody would, potentially take a flyer on him as well. I'm kind of like, part of me is kind of like, good, we got to keep all the players I wanted. Part of me like, why did nobody else want these guys? None of our players got picked up by anybody else until they cleared waivers. 2 guys did get taken later on after clearing waivers. We'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of shocking that we get all these guys back. Next up, we go to the DBs here, the corners. First off, we have one corner, I should say. Amani Oruwariye looked bad last year in Detroit. Didn't look so great here in the preseason, but he's still a veteran with starting experience. Somebody like that to have under practice squad at a position we're thin at can't be a bad thing. And if you find someone better, you can always drop them later on. It's the practice squad. It's week to week, guys.
No.
That can change. And you know what? Actually, I spoke out of turn. We do have a second corner in that room. We do. Jamon Green also, who is a guy we've talked about before when he came out of college, coming out of Michigan. A guy with a lot of experience at Michigan, not necessarily a lot of athleticism. That's safe to say. He's actually the guy, if you rewatch the Jet game there, he's the one who gave up the touchdown to Garrett Wilson. But if you look, he was actually step by step with him. He just didn't turn around to look at the ball. If he had just turned around to look at the ball, that wouldn't have been a touchdown. He would have knocked it right down.
Instead of do this.
So maybe there's something we can teach him, and maybe we get something out of him. But if we don't, he's a young kid. We got on the practice squad, a rookie. These are the guys you want to see on the practice squad, see if they develop into something. And if he doesn't, no harm, no foul. That's the beauty of the practice squad. No harm, no foul. You're paying him practically nothing. There's no risk. There's only reward possible. That's it. So last guy we got on the list here is another guy that I'm pretty glad we got to keep here. Alex Cook, who's another guy who is a rookie safety now, coming out of Washington, still just 24 years old. Again, another guy like that. You put him on there, you see what you got in him, and no risk, no harm, no foul. So, again, I can't complain about a single. I can't complain about a single move here. That's crazy. It's crazy. When do I never complain? That doesn't happen. I feel like I'm out of touch here. I always complain about something.
I was about to say, Drew. Looks like you're wearing a red tie down there. I'm wearing a blue tie. Let's argue. Blah. You want to argue about something?
Oh, we're not going to politics now.
Let's not say
politics.
Anyway,
no politics. No politics. Yeah. You said red and blue. We're not doing it. We're not doing it.
I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. I'm just talking about the colors down there.
Let's change topics quick.
Yeah.
So again, guys, we still have a couple of practice squad spots available. We got 13 guys right now. We're gonna have a total of 16. We may pick up a couple of more. If we do, this will be the part we insert that. So now either nothing got, we didn't get anybody added onto that roster, or you just heard who else we added. Let's get into who we lost here. So we lost a couple of players to other teams' practice squads. David Sills Army is moving up to the Rocky Mountains there, goes to Denver and goes to their practice squad. Deshaun Corbin goes to Carolina's practice squad, which is interesting because we played Carolina. So obviously they like something they saw at him when they played him week 2 there in the preseason. And I wonder still if keeping Eric Gray and not keeping him was a mistake. I really do. And I mean, if we had kept Deshaun Corbin, nobody would complain. But Eric Gray just looked bad in preseason. I'm sorry. The guy averaged like 2 yards a carry, didn't pass protect very well. I know he can do special team returns, and that's why he probably got kept. Plus, he just got drafted this year. But
I was about to say,
he didn't look that comfortable in the punt returns either. I don't know. There wasn't anything about Eric Gray coming out of college that excited me, and nothing has changed my opinion since. I'm not big on Gray.
Obviously, we've talked about this for a few weeks now. Like, poor guy just got drafted in the 5th round.
Show me something. Show me something.
He had a couple good plays. Like, he looked like he was shaking up some rust in the in a big old spotlight. Like,
some rust. He just got done playing college football a couple months earlier. Don't rust.
You know what I meant? Like, he's shaking off his nerves. He's in the middle of a spotlight. He's getting put into this team that could be a playoff team. Like,
just saying, I think
drafted in the 5th round, and they said, "Hey, you're probably the best guy at special teams," and he might be like, if he plays like that for a few more weeks, then guess what?
He was better for the practice squad. Personally, I think that's where his better fit was. We got a couple other Giants news here as well. Before we get into that, though, before we do, we just got to remind you guys real quick. I mean, those of you that missed out in yesterday's episode here with the monthly Q&A, specifically for people that have signed up for the membership, let's talk about that membership real quick there.
Enjoying the show? Looking for more goofball action? Consider a membership at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Memberships start at just $5 and give you additional goofball access. One-time support payments also available starting at just $3. buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs.
The pirate voice. I had to pick the pirate voice for that one. Just had to do it. Yar me matey. Alrighty, guys. So, other Giants news here. Let's get into, first off, Hard Knocks, because that's the big thing that we're hearing people talk about nonstop. So, Aaron Rodgers is the pansy. Let's just call it what it is. There was a slight push Jihad Ward gave him after a play was over. Kind of more ran into him than anything else. And Rodgers complained. And his big comeback was, "Who are you? Who are you?" And he thought it was so cool for saying that he was bragging to his teammates later on. Like, dude, stop. Jihad Ward, I'm not trying to say that he is Aaron Rodgers' stature. But Jihad Ward has been in this league long enough and has played well enough long enough that I guarantee you Aaron Rodgers knows who he is. The guy's literally been in this league since 2014. You don't make it going into your 10th year in the league if you're bad. You just don't. Not 10th, but what, 4, 7? I'm mathing off now. 7th year? Yeah,
9.
7th year in the league. 9? No, it can't be 9 years. Hold on. They're going to make me look it up.
2014? You said 2014, it's 2023.
8. Yeah, he's going into his 9th year. Okay. But I'm just saying, he's been in this league long enough. Aaron Rodgers knows who he is. Stop being a wimp. Stop trying to act like you're cool.
Yeah.
for saying that because you don't look cool at all. You look like a pansy. I'm sorry. You just look like somebody who you can't. He touched me after the play was over. Like, barely touched him, dude. Stop. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Not that I had any respect for Rodgers before, but if I did, it'd be gone now. All right,
touche.
Let's get into the new numbers today too, because that was the big talk was the New Jersey numbers. Oh yes. So I'll save the big one for
Well,
last.
it's technically a New York
Javarius
team, not
Owens.
a Jersey team.
No. The New Jersey numbers, not the New Jersey state. So Javarius Owens.
Classify. He's
Javarius Owens goes to number 39. Boogie Basham, the newest Giant here, has taken jersey number 45. The big one, though, the big one that everybody's talking about, Jalen Hyatt, the speedster, has officially changed his number from 84 to number 13. Lucky 13. Keep in mind that number was previously unavailable. David Sills had it. We talked about him being gone and going off to Denver now. So, yeah, I mean, obviously that invites the talk of Jalen Hyatt, OBJ. He knows he's taking OBJ's number. It's not the number he wore in college. He wore number 11 in college, so it's not like it's his old number from college or anything like that. He's purposely bringing on the talk of OBJ and the comparisons of OBJ. And part of me loves it. Part of me hates it.
Yeah. I mean,
I like the confidence. I don't think he's setting himself up for real expectations, though. You're not going to do what OBJ did his rookie year. I'm sorry, you're not. No disrespect to Hyatt. He can have a great year. If he does 700-800 yards, we think it's a great year. Let's be honest. But he's not
you
going to
go
do
from
the
a scale from 1 to 13, and he plays at 11.5. We're all going to be excited.
But it's so unrealistic. It's not even funny for him to do what Beckham did. It really, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's 99% sure it's not going to happen. That's a fair statement to make, I think. I really do. You know, you look at what he did that rookie year, it was unheard of.
Yes.
It was record breaking. It was absolutely amazing. You know, his rookie year and only
he's
12
going to have
games had 1,300 yards. Go for it, Rob. We're lost you, Rob. We're losing you. We're losing you here. You're delayed. You're all muted here.
I'm right here. Okay.
Oh, there you are. Okay. Go for it.
All I'm trying to say. I'm right. Yeah, right here. OBJ was on a different Giants team. He still played in East Rutherford, but he also had Eli Elite quarterback throwing him the ball. That was a throw happy team. Super talented. Not taken away from Hyatt. Not taken away from DJ. But you know what's changed? We got Barkley in the backfield. We got way different of a coaching staff. We have no solid number one. Grant, we didn't have that much of a solid number one then. Like OBJ came solid number one that rookie year. But there's other clear first targets it's going to be targeted for Hyatt. He's probably ranked 3rd to 4th, maybe 5th to start going into week 1 on the depth chart, and he still has to compete with tight ends. He will still have a stellar year, but he's not going to put
OBJ also didn't play the first 4 games at all. It didn't start until the 5th week. So, I mean, you can use that and say, okay, well, Hyatt's going to start later in the year probably as well, potentially. If he does, he's not going to start as a starter in the season. But it's still, to get 1,300 yards as a rookie and to do that in 12 games, it's unheard of. You know, 12 touchdowns in those 12 games as well on top of that. It's unheard of. He's not going to do it.
So in 17 games, you think he's going to have 1,300 yards?
No. Like I said, if he gets 800 yards,
that's
I'm happy.
where I'm going to go with comparison. Like if he gets close to 1,000, he had a hell of a rookie year.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying 800 yards. I'm happy. That's my level to get me excited about Jalen Hyatt. Now he can have 500, 600 yards. I'm still not disappointed. But what I'm saying is to beat my expectations, what I have for him being a 3rd round pick, coming out with the knowledge that he's going to have to learn some more of professional NFL offense because he was playing at a very non-NFL oriented offense in Tennessee, knowing that he's in a very crowded wide receiver room. I don't have crazy expectations. I think 500-600 yards for him is a good season. I think anything 700, 800 yards is a really good season that gets me pumped up.
So my biggest thing is, it's hard to say. Like I don't have super high expectations, even though I do have high expectations for this guy.
He's got high
hopes.
He's got
high
hopes.
He has potential to be the number 1 somewhere. Maybe with the Giants. He's got that potential. But look what, and this is what we're saying the whole offseason, but look what our offense did to set themselves up for this year. He's going to get a couple deep balls thrown to him, and he's probably going to get some really big plays out of him.
But here's the whole thing, though. That's all fine and dandy. My whole point is he's not going to hit 1,300 yards.
Well, this is what I understand it. I'm actually about to mathematically break it down for you.
But I'm just saying, it's not even a math thing. It's impossible. Like it's not a reasonable expectation to have of him. It's
not. Nothing's impossible. That's being a Debbie Downer.
No, it's being a.
I'm just saying he has the opportunity to be great, but with the way this offense is set up, you know what? A lot of people said the same thing about OBJ going into his rookie year, that he'll never get 1,300 yards. And
do you think that was a realistic expectation for OBJ in his rookie year?
Not saying that Hyatt's doing it. I'm just saying. I didn't say that. I'm just saying a lot of people said he couldn't do it. Don't say he can't do it. It's impossible. Anything's possible.
I think it was an unrealistic expectation.
I'm just saying he puts up a little over half his yards. All I was trying to say was that look at the offense when OBJ came up to the offense now. It's a different statue. Like, we don't have any wide receiver built to get like 1,000 yards at the end of the year. We have built 6 players to get 600 yards each.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I feel like you're agreeing with me, but disagreeing with me somehow at the same time. Like, it's not realistic.
That's all I was trying to say. That's all I was trying to say. But I'm just trying to say, if he turns around and gets 800 yards, you could kind of put him in the category like how great he was.
No, we're not putting him in the OBJ category if he gets 800 yards.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying, look at the difference and look at the play. Like, this is like, if you could compare the play to where he's at with the amount of depth, because Giants had the same depth back then.
They
didn't have the same
that great depth, though. Not like this. This is a different depth entirely because we haven't
That's
had.
What I'm trying to say.
That's what I'm saying. We're agreeing, yet somehow you sound like you're disagreeing with me. But what I'm just saying is it's not a realistic expectation. I don't like it from that perspective. I think that in the end, he's putting a lot of pressure on himself, which I like the fact that he thinks he can take that kind of pressure on. That I like. I like the confidence. You can't play wide receiver position if you're not confident. I just think it's too much pressure.
So this is where we're disagreeing. I just realized this is where we're disagreeing. You're looking straight up at the number.
Yes.
I'm talking about the play of game.
He's not going to play to OBJ level. Point blank. It's not realistic.
You're looking at the number.
I'm not looking at the number. I'm looking at the fact that OBJ was dominant. Absolutely dominant his rookie year. The chances of Jalen Hyatt doing that, not just because of the offense, but also because it hasn't been done like that pretty much ever. There's not many players that have ever had that kind of rookie wide receiver kind of season. You're going to the likes of like a Randy Moss to compare to what OBJ did the first year. It's not realistic to have that as an expectation.
You're not. I'm just turning around and saying, right?
Turn around.
Every now and then, what's a realistic number?
Like I said, I think to me, 500-600 yards is realistic for him. I think 700-800 is really good.
All right, so he turns around and gets 2 catches every game, 17 games. Only 2 catches.
Okay.
30 yards each.
So that's 60 yards that put him at 1,000. I don't think that's realistic. Because that puts him right over 1,000.
Oh, with 2 catches. So let's give him 3 catches at 18 yards.
Okay, that puts him at 54. That still puts him just about the same. Puts him at 900 yards.
Yeah. So if he gets 900 yards, so you're not going to say, like, that's not a great year for him?
Oh, no, that's not what
OBJ
I'm saying.
Numbers, but you're not
that's not. And that's what I'm saying. It's not
understand
OBJ
that.
numbers. He's setting the bar too
That's
high.
what I'm trying to say to you. It's like, just because, like, OBJ, his rookie year, had multiple great long catches, was dominant. He also had a lot of short catches.
Yes. Slant. He was
but
a
he
slant
also
king.
had way more catches. I'm just saying, if he turns around and has, even if you want to say,
turn around,
4 catches for 15 yards every game, like, you're still looking at 900 yards.
Yes.
That's not that impressive. It's great. But
no, I'm wrong. That's impressive.
OBJ numbers.
That is impressive.
If you look at what OBJ did,
it's still nowhere near what OBJ did. Absolutely nowhere near it. And it's not a realistic expectation.
I hear you.
And we already had the video of him talking to OBJ and OBJ saying, "Don't break my records." Now this, like I said, he's setting the bar too high for himself. And I like the confidence that he has to do that. But I don't think that he realizes quite that this is New York. You put yourself at that kind of level and that kind of expectation, and then you get to the point where if he does 800, 900 yards, people are almost disappointed. And that's a hell of a rookie season, especially for a 3rd rounder.
Yeah, but you also underestimate. You're also going to underestimate Giants media. They're going to turn around every stat. You're going to put up 1,300 yards a game, but they're going to also turn around and put up different stats to make them look just as good, minus those numbers. OBJ had this many targets compared to Hyatt. 1/3 of those targets. Guess what?
I think the Giants media and the Giants.
You haven't seen the market up here lately.
Giants media and Giant fans do anything to be pissed off, basically. It's just the way we are, nature. So you're going to have the comparison of OBJ did this after his first 5 starts. Jalen Hyatt did this after 5 games. And he's not gonna lead up to it.
Oh, it's going to happen. It's going to happen, but they're going to show every stat plus and positive. Like, we can just turn around and look at just DJ last year. Was he our quarterback? Was he not? And you had every stat showing this is why he's not, and every stat this is why he is. And guess what? The guy got signed, and everyone, not unanimously, but a lot more people agree that he's our quarterback. Like, if you turn around and say, like, he's not going to play OBJ level, he's going to be close to it. He doesn't put up quite as much as numbers, but statistically, what you're looking for, he puts up those same numbers, not number-wise total yards, but per play, people are going to talk about it.
Yeah, I think it'll be 100% Hyatt versus OBJ. I don't think quarterback talk or any of that will come into it. I really don't.
No.
I think it's going to be
ball. I'm showing an example. I'm showing an example of it.
No, but what I'm saying is point blank. They're going to go 5 yards. OBJ had this. Jalen Hyatt had this.
Oh yeah,
and he's not going to compete. He's going to look like crap compared to what OBJ did because he's not at OBJ's level. He's not. Point blank.
Yep. I'm not saying okay. So we're starting to get to a come around again. I'm not saying he's OBJ level. I'm trying to break
No,
down,
but
right?
what I'm
He's
saying
not
is,
getting
I don't
13.
think the media will bring up the quarterback at all. I don't
Oh
think they
no,
will
no,
give
I
a
was
damn
using
about
that
that.
example. That I'm not talking about
It's-
breaking up the quarterback. I'm talking about an example of it.
They're going to say,
That was not
okay,
true.
well, Jalen Hyatt through 5 games is 280 yards. OBJ through 5 games had, I don't know what he had through 5 games. Let's say 700 yards, and that's going to be the comparison, and it's going to
But
make
you know what they're going
Jalen
to look
Hyatt
at
look
too?
bad.
This is all right. This is what we're turning around. They're going to look at. OBJ had 7.1 yards per catch, and Hyatt had
They're not going to do
6.9
that.
yards.
The media
Oh, what are you
loves to have
talking about?
people
You're
because
going to
the
be
media
eating
loves to have people.
socks after the first
The
month.
media loves to
You're
have
going to be eating
people
socks after the
pissed
first
off.
month.
No, they love to have people pissed off about the Giants. That's what they love. They don't care about the average because that's not going to make him look bad. What they're going to do is put up the yards. They're going to put up the yards. They're going to put the catches up, and they're going to put the touchdowns up. They're not going to go deep in the weeds because deep in the weeds won't help their cause. They want the controversy. Controversy means watching.
You're gonna have those people, but you're also going to have the people that defend them.
I disagree.
And controversy also means like, can he beat him?
He won't beat.
You're right. We're going to disagree on this, and you're going to be eating socks.
We're gonna. So,
all right, we already agreed on that. I'm talking about he's going to be statistically compared to him.
He will 100%, but it's not going to look good. I don't get what you're saying. And I don't know if it's the delay. You're a little delayed here. What's going on? But I don't get what you're saying at all because I feel like you're saying the quarterback is going to be compared, and they're going to go into these advanced metrics and stats. They're not going to do that. They're just going to say point blank, this is the games, this is the yards, this is the catches, this is the touchdowns.
No, I was
look like crap.
I was just saying
because he's not going to do that number. He's not, and it's not a fair measuring stick for him. It's not.
Who's not? You're saying them who?
Them, the people that will put it up, the people that are broadcasting the games, the people that are talking about the Giants on the radio and the news and everything like that. That's what they're going to do because he put this on himself. He put this level of pressure on himself.
All right. So I lost you with QB play. All I was saying with the QB play was people said that DJ was not the answer. People said he was the answer. They broke down every stat to make him look better or worse. And whoever was arguing against or for him used the best stat for him. Same thing's going to go with Hyatt
quarterback
against OBJ.
Because he's the quarterback. That's the difference.
Hyatt. So I'm going to like after 4 weeks, right? We'll say OBJ had 500 yards his first 4 weeks. Hyatt might have 350. Looks way less, but if he had 2/3 of the catches.
I hear what you're saying now. So you're saying they're going to go, oh, his average yards
statistically, they're going to break it down. Yeah, that's all I was trying to say.
They will. I think they only did that with Daniel Jones because he's the quarterback. With the quarterback, you look at all these advanced metrics and people care much more. I don't think it's going to happen with a wide receiver, but we'll find out.
We'll find out. They do it for tight ends.
We will find out. I don't think they do on a regular basis. They do on some of the more advanced programming and stuff like that. For the most part, it's yards, catches, tight end, and touchdowns. That's it. They don't go into this is the yak, this is the yards per reception, this is the drops. They don't talk about that. They talk about that kind of stuff.
I'm not talking about the drops. I'm just talking
no, but I'm just saying in general, they don't go into stats besides receptions, yards, and touchdowns. That's all they look at with guys that are receivers. That's it. They don't look at yards per reception. They don't look at yak. They don't look at drops. They don't look at that stuff. They just go into
they 100% will bring up
yards, touchdowns. That's it.
They'll 100% bring up like if Hyatt gets 100 yards per game on average. Not saying he will, and OBJ got 120 yards per game on average. If it took OBJ 6 catches to get there, and it took Hyatt 3 to get to 100, they're going to break that down. Be like,
yeah, in that case they will because the comparison is there. But when it's not, when it's 3 yards and he's getting 45 yards a game, the comparison won't be there and they won't do it. That's the difference of what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
They're going to go deep in the weeds.
Well, we had to go to a 20-minute argument about nothing.
It's okay. It's what we do. We're goofballs. All right, guys. So we will see you guys again next week. Guess what, guys? Guess what next week is? Next week is the preparation time. It's time to prepare. It's preparing for the actual regular season. We will call this plan Preparation H. So guys,
but all right.
we'll see you on Monday. So on Monday, what we're gonna do for you guys is we're gonna go ahead and do a game by game breakdown. Who we think is gonna win each game for the Giants. Sneak peek, the Giants will win a decent amount. But we're gonna go ahead and do our season prediction show, which is something we did last year. I think worked pretty well there. We enjoyed doing that. We actually, if you remember right, those of you guys who were with us last year in the very beginning when we first started doing recordings here, we were pretty dead on. We were like half a game off, I think, and that's it, right? Something like that. So yeah, we were pretty damn close to being.
Yeah, we're in the ballpark.
Yeah, so we'll do that for you guys there. But we have some other things obviously cooking as well. We'll obviously do a pregame show. We'll obviously preview all of the NFL games at one point in the week as well. And so best thing to do, guys, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, because when you hit those items there, you get notified when we go live. As always, we are live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and of course, Rob's favorite, my LinkedIn profile. Oh yes, my LinkedIn profile. And of course, we're always on audio a little bit afterwards. They're usually a couple hours afterwards on pretty much every audio podcast platform known to man, including Apple, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, and all. So go ahead and hit the like and subscribe there as well. And if you're on Apple Podcasts, leave us a review. That's one of the spots you can leave a review. Everybody else is just a star pattern kind of thing, which by all means, leave us a 5-star. We appreciate that as well. But the reviews are nice. We like reading the reviews. So, all righty, guys. Again, we will see you guys again next week there. Appreciate all you listening for this here. Exciting news still coming down. Anything else that pops on in, like I said, we'll let you guys know as things do pop up and down as well, because things will go ahead and change. The roster is not set. I can guarantee you still, as you're watching this, that a change will probably still happen between now and the Dallas Cowboy game. So we will see you guys all next week. As always, Giant fans, stay safe and go G-Man!
G-Man!
Go G-Man! G-Man!
G-Man!
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support. If you made it this long, you must have enjoyed it. So I am sure you have followed us on all the social media platforms. Of course, you have subscribed to the show on your favorite app as well and given us a top rating. Right? Right? Right?
Thank you to those who have signed up for our silver gold levels of membership at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs.